Hey, what's up? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of SimplyPodLogical, a simply now logical podcast.
Hello, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Christmas is over, Christine. Holidays are over. No more Christmas music. I don't want to hear any more Mariah Carey.
It's 22.
It's the Taylor Swift year. I'm feeling 22. I don't know about you.
Everyone is in the year 22. I'm not going to say 2022 anymore. I'm just going to refer to it as apostrophe 22.
Apostrophe 22.
Just like 97. Remember? Does anyone remember?
Okay, so to wrap up Christmas, to close the chapter, we thought it would be fun just to do an Am I the Asshole holiday edition.
Mm-hmm. Post-holidays.
Post-holidays, and then move on with our lives. First, though, do you want to tell people what we did for Christmas, or is there not much to say?
'Twas very eventful. We
Twas
the night
Charles
before
Dickens
Christmas.
or something?
Like the Christmas song.
We got visited by 3 ghosts on
We got
Christmas
visited
Eve.
by a vaccine booster on Christmas Eve. It
It's
was
true.
wonderful.
So we got boosted on the 24th. So Christmas Day, we were basically on the couch watching Emily in Paris.
Yeah, but we had superpowers, so,
Yeah.
Jesus can't compete. So, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I don't think Jesus was magnetic.
So Ben and I didn't really do anything on Christmas Day. I was watching, I think. I was working on
We got a lot of work done between Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah, because no one was
actually.
bothering us. It was great.
Yeah, you got a problem when.
Yeah. And then a few days after that, we went to Toronto to see some of my family. Mm-hmm. Just a small gathering. And that's basically all the people we saw.
Yeah.
Because we didn't do anything on actual Christmas.
No, and we got our hands on some rapid tests and that sort of thing. But yeah,
I'd bought them earlier, so I was lucky enough to I bought them several months ago and I just had some. So we used those for Christmas dinner, post-Christmas dinner purposes. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I saw my aunt and uncle. My aunt gave me and my sister a bracelet. Mm-hmm. It was a belated birthday present because we all said no Christmas presents.
Yeah.
But yeah, she gave me and my sister a matching kind of rainbow bracelet. It's pretty
that's
cute.
fun.
I don't know. Whatever. Maybe I'll show it later. No one can see here.
Okay.
But I thought that was nice. And then we just stayed there for the night, had some of her wonderful cooking. She's a great chef. She does a lot of baking. She's very good. Not like me.
Yeah. This is your dad's brother's wife.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, they're not married, but yes.
Oh, yeah.
Partner. Life partner.
Life partner. Mm-hmm. Just like us, right? Life partners.
Yeah, life partner.
Can we say that? Are we life partners?
Sure. Partners in crime.
Sure. Anyway, yeah, this has been a hard
And what about
holiday.
you, Ben? Your family's
I
in
came
Australia.
with you. Yeah, I spoke to my family on Christmas Eve here because Australia is 16 hours ahead, something like that.
So both your parents live in Australia, just in case.
Yeah. They're life partners. No, they're married.
No, they're actually married. Whatever.
Yeah, no, just the 5 of us hopped on a call and caught up.
Yeah, so you had a remote Christmas with your side of the family.
Yeah, Zoom Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want us to come to Australia. I want to go to Australia. I mean, the idea of getting on that flight right now is a little crazy, but not just because of COVID, but also because just being on a plane for 20 hours is also excruciating.
Yeah, I've never done that.
Yeah.
5 hours max.
Yeah, that would be a lot. And when we're going to do that, it needs to be at a time in our lives where we could just take 3 weeks off to do it.
Yeah.
Probably, right? And I can't remember the last time we took a few days off. Never mind, a month. Anyway, that was our Christmas. Hope you guys had an okay Christmas too.
Hope everyone is having a good start to the new year so far. So just, Happy New Year.
Yeah. So let's read about some people who maybe didn't have the best Christmas because they're asking
feel better.
the internet if they were an asshole. Let's hop into it. Christine, first one. Am I the asshole for leaving my son outside on Christmas Eve? Good start.
Love this.
I have 4 children and I'm pretty easygoing. They don't have a lot of rules they have to abide by, but it's simple. Be respectful, do your chores. And for the 2 teenagers, 15 and 16, be back before 10 p.m.
Oh, I would never listen to that. Not at 16 years old.
You think 10 p.m. is too early for a 16-year-old?
Yes.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
That is subjective. I'm not trying to pick apart other people's parenting decisions, but for me personally, yeah, absolutely not.
All right, my 16-year-old son came home at 11 last night. Dun, dun, dun. When the house was already locked up. What do you mean you just locked the door?
The house was locked up. The windows sealed.
Yeah.
Barricaded.
After they missed about 10 calls from me, he knocked to get in, and I just called him back and told him he could sleep in the treehouse. And that there were already blankets up there, and hopefully this would be a lesson to stick to curfew. He was apparently on a date with someone who we haven't met. Uh-oh. And didn't realize his phone was set an hour behind. To me, that's all excuses. I told him he had the rest of the night in the cubby to reset his time, and we'd see him in the morning. I opened the door at 6 a.m., nice and early, and he came in and went to bed and slept until lunchtime, holding his siblings up from opening their gifts because we all do it together as a family. He thanked everyone for his gifts and went back to sleep after lunch. My husband said I completely overreacted. It was an honest mistake, and he's exhausted from not being able to sleep in the treehouse. He would have been able to. It was warm enough, and I put enough bedding up there. Still, my husband said it was an asshole move. Am I the asshole?
Yes.
Yes.
This is just so stupid and so petty. Like, sometimes teenagers make mistakes. Oh my God, they miss curfew by an hour. Were they like out doing something terrible? No. Then, just say maybe next time don't do that. Don't punish them by making them sleep outside. Also, is this like in a cold climate?
Well, this is on December 24th too. I guess we don't know where they live.
That's why I was like, if it was in Ottawa, they would freeze.
I guess for me, like, this is a pretty crazy punishment no matter what time of year it is. And just ignore the climate though. Like, isn't Christmas Eve the time where like everyone's happy and together and it's all about the Christmas spirit?
The mom is just mad that the son was on a date and didn't say who it was with because the mom is like crazy protective and wants to know everything her son is doing.
Yeah, like when you start your description with "I'm pretty easygoing,"
it means you're not. Brenda, you are not.
You're probably not easygoing given the rest of this description. Jesus. This is pretty awful and like.
Well, this happened to me. Well, I wasn't sleeping in a treehouse.
Your parents made you sleep outside?
I missed curfew. Well, curfew's it wasn't an exact time, but like I should have been home by midnight.
Sure,
when I
but
was
if you'd
driving.
come home, they wouldn't have said, okay, now go sleep in a park.
No, but they took my car away.
Yeah, you've told this story.
Yeah.
Which seems to really bother you to this day.
A stupid punishment because how was I supposed to drive my sister, myself, and their friends' kids to school?
Well, yeah, that's what they were trying to teach you.
Yeah, but I just took the spare keys to drive everyone to school. What, are we not supposed to go to school? So it just made no sense.
Then they should have punished you for stealing the keys.
I'm just saying, when the punishment is stupid and it doesn't make sense, such as making your kids sleep outside in the treehouse because they were an hour late, like you're the dumb one in this situation. The parent is, not the kid.
So what's the real punishment here?
Does there have to be like some punishment every time? I feel like that's not always a good default approach.
Well, yeah. I don't think
you can
this
express
is a big deal.
that you're concerned that you would like your children to stick to rules just so you can expect them to be home. And the fact that he didn't respond to 10 missed calls, that's an issue. But to punish them by saying, you're not allowed to sleep in the house tonight is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's pretty
Be
awful.
Reasonable, parents.
We're not parents.
We're not parents.
I don't know what reasonable punishments are these days, right? Because there was probably a time where this... Like the standards for what it is to do like responsible disciplining of children I'm sure has changed drastically in the last 20, 30 years, right?
I just think that by defaulting to a punishment, especially when it's ridiculous, it doesn't always like work necessarily. And sometimes your kids are just like, that is literally so dumb. You are making life worse for everyone because you're just trying to punish me for the sake of punishment. And if that's all it's achieving, it's not really a good end result. Everyone's Christmas was fucked up because of the parents' decision to let the kids
Couldn't you just
outside.
At least delay the punishment till after Christmas if there needs to be one? And also, you're totally right. Like staying up to 11 as a 16-year-old.
Come on. Good Lord.
All right. Asshole confirmed. 2. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend that I don't like the gift she got me and asking for something else? My girlfriend's 22 years old and I'm 26 years old, have been together for almost 4 years and live together. She has a stable career and has bought herself a car and was taught to drive in high school. I was never taught to drive. It's not really necessary because I can Uber, take the bus, or my girlfriend can drive. She's offered before to teach me to drive, but I declined because I'm not really interested in learning because I don't plan on getting a car since they're a lot of money. My birthday was yesterday and my girlfriend was really excited to give me my gift. It was private driving lessons, which she admitted cost her several $100s. I was really offended because I don't want to learn to drive. She hyped up the gift like I'd love it, but I honestly hate it. It seems more like it's for her because she wants me to learn to drive more than it is for me. I got upset and disappointed. When I opened it up, she kept pushing to ask why I didn't like it. I told her that I don't care for driving. It seemed like a really impersonal gift because I don't even want my license or a car, so why would I want this? I felt like she doesn't even know me, and she got really upset, so I suggested she return the lessons and get me something I would like better. She's calling me an asshole and said the lessons are non-refundable and is really upset with me. I don't think I'm the asshole because I've told her before I don't want to drive, and I feel like she's just trying to change me. So now she's being immature and won't drive me anywhere and tells me I can Uber if I want to go somewhere, even if it's somewhere she's going to go already. Like she went thrifting into the grocery store without me and said if I really wanted to go that badly, I can Uber. It's not even like I ask for rides ever. I just tag along. If she's already going somewhere, I get Ubers to and from work and have a good job, so it's pointless for me to even get a car or license. When I told her that, she said she's tired of always being the driver and likes to be the passenger sometimes. But to me, it sounded like she gave me a gift that she wants because she hates being the driver so much. I suggested that I could get lessons for her birthday, not mine, and that upset her even more. She said that isn't a gift for her, and she'd be upset if I got myself driving lessons for her birthday. I told her basically, see, so you'd be upset if you got... Okay, I think we get the point here.
Yeah.
Who is the asshole in this scenario, Chris?
I think, sometimes there's things that happen in a relationship where you realize that maybe it's not meant to be. And I think that this one very specific issue is probably telling of other things in their relationship. And I could see both sides, for this particular issue. But it sounds like they're just being bitter at each other, and one's not willing to compromise for the other, but ultimately it's an issue that they just don't see eye to eye.
Yeah, clearly girlfriend thinks there's imbalance, inequity in the relationship, that she is the one responsible for driving and doing the driving all the time.
Yeah.
Is it okay that was her gift to him, though? Because, I think she's totally justified in expressing, this is frustrating to me. I feel like I'm having to drive you everywhere. I would feel more appreciated. Like, if you could drive too, I want to be the passenger sometimes, yada, yada, yada. But to get a gift for someone that is just sort of basically in your interest is kind of weird, right?
Yeah, I agree with him in that respect, that, this isn't really a gift for him, especially if he's expressed that he doesn't want to drive and he's not interested in lessons. If it was something he wanted, then yeah, that's a great gift. Yeah. But then I also see the underlying issue that has nothing to do with gift giving or Christmas, which is, it sounds like she's annoyed at the fact that she's constantly the one who's driving and responsible for it, and he just has no interest or effort because it costs too much, but she's paying for it.
Well, no, and he's minimizing how big a deal it is. I don't ask for drives all the time, but then at the end,
he also uses her for drives.
Complaining at the end about how now she's not driving him places.
Yeah,
right?
Which is a bitter response on her part too, to be fine, you can get an Uber to the same place I'm driving, whatever. It's just immature.
She's proving a point.
But I think
they're 22 and 26.
They're young. They're gonna drive apart from each other.
She should get in the car and never come back.
Leave. Find someone else.
Yeah. I think he is the asshole, but I also think she could have done this in a way that wasn't here's this amazing gift I got you, which is really something she wants him to want and not something he wants.
She knew he didn't want driving lessons, so that's why it was not really a wise, mature decision to give him that as a gift.
If I couldn't drive, would you be in a relationship with me?
Depends why you couldn't drive. It's just the fact that someone drives isn't
if I refused to learn to drive and it was annoying, and anytime we went everywhere you had to drive, that would be really annoying, right? Is
there a reason? No, did you have trauma because of a car accident?
Why would we go there?
I'm trying, there are some circumstances.
No, maybe I'm just like this guy.
Or if you couldn't afford to pay for lessons.
Hey, people drive me everywhere my whole life, so I don't need to learn to drive. That's my reason.
Well, isn't that like princes? Yeah. Prince, what's his name? Prince William.
I'm used to people just carrying me everywhere on a...
Yeah, it's obnoxious to the person who has to do all the driving.
Yeah.
But if there's a good reason, then, it's okay.
I felt kind of bad. We only had we kind of drove your car as our car for a few years. And I even felt kind of weird about that.
I slowly started letting you drive because in the beginning I was like, this is my car.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss that old Mazda.
The Mazda 3, the rusty Mazda 3. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you got a car. But that's because you had the means to get a car. If we did not...
Sure.
We both shared driving one car, though.
It also didn't make a ton of sense for us to have 2 cars because we were never driving.
But that's not the issue here. The issue is that he refuses to learn
I'm getting distracted
how to drive. And as a driver who's been driving since I was 16, it would be frustrating if my partner was just like, no, you do it all. I'm not going to put any effort into learning. Like, that's the problem.
In our generation or in our cohort, let's say, it was very unusual for someone not to learn to drive as soon as they turned 16 to at least get their G1.
Yeah.
I gather that that's really changing because of
right. So yes, we are 33 years old. Yeah. So put that into perspective too. Exactly. Growing up, everyone was so excited to go get their G1 on their 16th birthday.
Yeah. So when I hear of someone our age who doesn't have their license, that's very unusual to me, right? But I think it's much more common now for your typical 16, 17, 18-year-old to have not gotten around to doing it, maybe.
Yeah, and especially people who are 16 now in the pandemic and you're not going anywhere. There's less motivation to go get your license if you're like, well, I don't need this.
But wouldn't you like, if I had a 16-year-old or if I was giving advice to a 16-year-old, I'd want them to learn how to...
Yeah.
Well, because even in like an emergency situation, you want them to at least know how to drive, to turn on a car and get somewhere.
You know what their argument would be? Well, there's going to be AI cars driving, so I don't need to know.
That's true. One day this will all sound ridiculous.
Or maybe their girlfriend drives, so...
they don't stick with that.
No, I think independence is something that we can underscore here. Yeah. That being able to drive, I'm not saying that is the only element of independence, but it is something that, can help and contribute to your ability to go wherever you want.
But girlfriend here has the independence. Boyfriend is dependent on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks for the boyfriend.
Next one, am I the asshole for asking my girlfriend's friends to reimburse me? So I'm 24-year-old guy. I told my girlfriend's 24-year-old female best friends, we're all 24. I told my girlfriend's best friends that I was getting her a really nice espresso machine for Christmas because she told me she really wanted this model. I told them in July and they said, that's great. I bought it in October. My girlfriend's birthday was in November, and imagine my surprise when my girlfriend opens her best friend's gift and it's the exact model espresso machine I told them about. I was livid and now had an espresso machine I couldn't return because of company policy. I only bought it with that policy knowing that nobody else would get it for her. I plan on selling it, but just my luck, they have it on sale right now for almost $200 off, so I have to sell it at a loss. I messaged her friends and told them that I was really unappreciative that they stole my gift idea, asked them why they would do that and explained the situation. I asked them to reimburse me for the losses I had because it's only fair seeing that they stole my idea. They told me I was being ridiculous and they did it because they thought it would be funny to beat me to the punch.
Funny? It's a weird sense of humor.
They said it's not their fault I bought it early. My girlfriend's sister agrees with me, but am I being the asshole?
What does the girlfriend say?
You tell your girlfriend what happened.
Yeah.
Also, why are you telling people in July what you're getting someone for Christmas?
Yeah, maybe
that's
you're really
a little weird, right?
No, maybe you're really excited about it and you found it early, and that's
Isn't this
fine.
Just a good reminder that like a lot of people suck though? So like why do that? It's like sharing baby names and things like that.
But there's also a possibility, because we're only reading one side, that the friends didn't remember what he said from July, and like they're not thinking of that. And then the girlfriend or the girl who got the present later told her friends, "Oh, I really want this espresso machine," and they bought it because she said it later. That's a possibility.
It's possible, but based on their interaction in the end, they thought it would be funny to beat me to the punch. Like any sort of reasonable interpretation of what the friends did goes out the window if we believe that.
That's a self-report then that they.
Well, yeah, and then you just tell your girlfriend what happened, and she might want to consider whether these people are good friends or not. If that's the way they. Or maybe
she's just happy she got her espresso machine. Like she's you guys are crazy.
Those are shitty. Oh my God. That's a shitty thing to do as a friend to your friend's partner, right?
Maybe and they really don't like the boyfriend. Maybe. There's got to be some other juicy details that we're missing.
Maybe. I mean, it doesn't excuse it, but you're right. There's probably a lot more to this. But yeah, that's pretty bad. But again, why would you tell people?
Keep your gift secret.
Yeah,
because you never know who's going to steal them.
Yeah. And why can't he return it? He only bought it the month before. Something about this just isn't totally adding up to me.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. There's more to this story.
Next one. Am I the asshole for proposing to my fiance at his family Christmas? My fiance Jake loves everything about Christmas and wintertime. We have talked a lot about marriage and are ready to get engaged, so I decided to take the plunge. It was our Christmas to spend with Jake's family, and his mom always goes way over the top with decorations, so it was like a winter wonderland. It just seemed like the perfect place. During dinner, I got down on one knee and presented him with a wedding band.
During dinner? Like before or after turkey?
Just in the middle of eating.
Okay.
In between spoonfuls of mashed potatoes. Jake's dad was pretty confused, but he is the old school type and kept asking what was going on.
What's going on?
And if I was really proposing. I did anticipate that he would have some issues with a woman proposing. Jake's mom hushed him, so I thought she was on my side, although we've had some issues in the past. Jake said yes, and I was over the moon. We celebrated with an amazing meal and family, and it was truly a magical night. Jake's dad did shut up when his mom told him to, but he seemed kind of uncomfortable the rest of the night and kept snickering. I heard today that Jake's mom is furious, feels I hijacked her dinner and was ranting before we left that Christmas. It's about everyone, not about us, and she feels I used her by latching onto her celebration. She is something of an attention seeker and a one-upper, says the person who proposed in front of everyone. Okay.
Yeah.
And just that morning had been trying to make me jealous with the jewelry her husband got her. Apparently she is now saying I have no respect, so I don't know if I was out of line. Cristine, proposals at family fun. If you're proposing
in front of anyone else.
But no, there's a difference between doing just in front of people and taking someone else's organized event and using that for your proposal and making it all about you. It's like proposing at someone else's wedding, right? If you're going to do that, you have to, like, my assumption is you have coordinated that with the bride and groom. Okay, if you do that, you do it with the knowledge of the bride and groom, right?
Yes.
Isn't that the assumption?
I guess, yeah.
So I kind of feel the same. Like, I know it's kind of lower stakes,
Christmas,
I guess.
So Christmas isn't owned by anyone. It's not like proposing on someone's birthday.
But it's someone else's hosted event, right?
Correct. Yeah, I think it's kind of weird to do that, to make a spectacle during an event that is unrelated to the proposal. To absorb Christmas or someone's birthday or someone else's wedding at all is kind of strange to me when the moment is supposed to be about those two people. But that's just my feelings. Like, I would think they would be pretty weird if we were at a family dinner and someone in the family. Well, no, I wasn't thinking us. But like, if someone in my family did that, I'd be like, "What are you doing?" Like, I just think it would be weird.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. I agree with you, but I think a lot of people do like involving their families in proposals.
But if they're involving them, then they're involving them, so they know.
They know. Okay.
They didn't know. She just hijacked it.
Yeah, this is pretty inconsiderate of the poster, I would say.
I mean, but at the same time, sometimes you just know if your family's going to be okay with it, and maybe that's just the kind of family you are, and maybe it doesn't really matter. Like, I don't give a shit that they did this. Just to be clear, I do not give a shit if people propose to other people in front of people's families. If that happened in our family, given our family context and the people I know and the relationships, I would think it would be weird and out of place. But
no one
families
would
are different.
Care, I don't think, either. Though,
no one would care?
No one would be, like, angry about it. It is weird how angry the people were the next day. Clearly, there's, like, issues with the relationship between this woman and her in-laws anyway, right?
Yeah.
So that makes it even stranger that she would do it at that family function, knowing there's already tension.
Like the dad is really traditional and probably didn't like the fact that his daughter, or no, his son's girlfriend was proposing to him. So it's the opposite of the expected gender direction of proposing.
Yeah.
That might have upset a traditional older couple.
Yeah.
So that's
it
probably
does add
some
a
underlying
layer
sexism
to it.
there, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who cares about that?
I mean, we don't care, but I'm just offering that as a potential explanation for why they were more upset than maybe this wouldn't have been a Reddit post if it was the other way around.
Maybe. All right, moving on. Am I the asshole for giving my mother-in-law a fake copy of my house key and exposing her on Christmas dinner?
She broke in?
It's like a YouTube video. Mother-in-law exposed on Christmas.
She broke into my house.
I want to preface this by saying I'm a 34-year-old woman, married my husband, 37 male, a year ago. His mom is Snoopy, the dog, and annoying AF. She can't help that it is just how she is, as my in-laws say.
Bullshit.
Oh, man, that drives me fucking nuts.
Do not use that as an excuse for anyone.
My husband and I purchased a new house recently. My mother-in-law kept pushing to get an emergency key. She promised... That's reasonable. You don't think it's reasonable for someone to have an emergency key to your house? If you ever locked yourself out,
if you decide to give your emergency key to someone, yes. But who in your life should be pushing to get an emergency key for someone else's house?
I'm just saying the concept of an emergency key.
Yeah, but that's up to the homeowner to decide who to give an emergency key to.
Okay. The mother-in-law promised she would only use it in an emergency, but kept giving the fact that she had an emergency key to our old apartment and walked in on us being intimate twice. My husband didn't think it was a big deal.
Oh my God.
But I just couldn't trust her, so I sent her a fake key, and she had a smug look on her face after I delivered it to her. Days go by, and on Christmas dinner, my mother-in-law angrily called me out on the fact that I gave her a fake copy of the house key. She shamed me for doing this in front of everyone. But in my defense, I asked her how she found out, and she said days ago when she came over at 4 while my husband and I were out. And I reminded her, didn't you promise you wouldn't use it unless there's an emergency? So you tried to get in when there was no emergency and broke the promise you made to us? She looked red in the face, and the other family stared and even started laughing. She suddenly got up from her seat and rushed into the kitchen, where she had a huge meltdown so loud the next door neighbor must have heard. I've literally never heard a 60-year-old woman throw a tantrum like that. Needless to say, dinner went awkward, and my husband and his sister were giving me looks. My husband went off on me in the car and said I lied and manipulated and humiliated and exposed his mom, and said he wouldn't have let me get away with it if he had known. We had an argument, and he's demanding I apologize to his mom for my childish behavior, for ruining Christmas dinner for the whole family. Am I the asshole? Husband is the most in the wrong here.
The husband's a loser.
Well, like,
I'm sorry, but what is this?
Clearly their family has all accepted that this woman is the way she is. Mm-hmm. And they expect other people in their orbit to just deal with her bullshit, right? And
give her a key so she can come in at any time she pleases.
Yeah. So
non-emergency related reasons.
If you're the poster here, the woman married to this dude, your concern should be that your husband isn't supporting you in the situation more than you probably have any hope of changing mother-in-law's behavior or attitude, right?
Mother-in-law cannot be changed. She will never be changed. But you should definitely not give her a key.
Well, and you need to know your husband. Like, I know it's probably hard for a husband who's grown up with like a narcissistic parent his whole life to like know how to deal with that situation and set those boundaries. Like, that's all you've known. That is how your mother has been to you your whole life. That would be difficult. I have some sympathy for that struggle. Yeah,
but the husband has a responsibility now in his current life with his current partner to kind of decide what is reasonable. And it's just not reasonable to bow down to the mother in this circumstance when she's done things that are clearly just inappropriate and wrong.
Yeah, like it should never have gotten to the point where you needed to give her a fake key. Yeah. Which is pretty amazing though.
This is just like insane to me. Like, I would never do this. I would have put my foot down long ago and be like, absolutely not. You're not getting a key. Like, no, there's no need. Also, get a Ring doorbell or a doorbell cam so you can see when the mother tries to come over.
Yeah, good
and you can track her.
Yeah, put
That's what I'd be doing. I'm putting up cameras. Holy shit.
That's funny. Yeah, this is the issues people have.
I feel
Cristine.
bad for the wife here.
Yes, good luck, wife. Next one. Am I the asshole for inviting my daughter's ex-husband to our Christmas dinner? Uh-oh. This should be good. My daughter was married to her high school sweetheart, Jason. He is a kind, sweet boy, and we thought they were perfect for each other until she decided to cheat. They are now divorced, and she is dating the girl who wrecked their marriage. I don't have a problem with my daughter dating a woman, but I do have a problem with my daughter cheating on her husband and dating the person who is willing to be married, to be with a married woman. That's despicable behavior. Daughter justifies it by saying he was controlling, and my other daughter took her side by telling me that Jason had shown up drunk after finding out my younger daughter cheated on him. She told me that he wanted to speak to my younger daughter, but my older daughter's husband, Dave, didn't let him into the house. Sounds like just a messy situation. I didn't follow any of that.
What is going on here?
I am close to Jason. So this is the mom again. I'm close to Jason, or the parent. I'm close to Jason, and I still stay in touch with him. He told me that he couldn't go home for Christmas this year, and he was going to be alone. I could see that he was sad and miserable, so I invited him to our Christmas dinner.
Mistake.
Both of my daughters are upset with me. The elder one thinks I shouldn't take his side in the divorce, while the younger one decided she didn't want to spend Christmas with us. And my older daughter also canceled. I think I'm doing the right thing, and my wife agrees with me, but I can't shake the feeling that I'm making a mistake and don't want to spend Christmas without either of my daughters.
Yeah, that was a huge mistake. It is not your place to invite the past relationships of your kids to Christmas dinner.
Especially while they are going through a divorce, and you are hearing conflicting stories about it potentially being a controlling
you don't know what happened in your kids' relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even if you had full transparency and you knew 100% of the truth in both sides, it doesn't matter. This isn't you're violating your kid by inviting their ex-partner to Christmas without telling them. It sounds like.
Well, what the hell? It sounds like dad likes his daughter's boyfriend more than he likes his daughter.
So go have a drink with him otherwise later outside of Christmas, whatever.
That is an interesting thing when you have your parents of people in long-term relationships can build a bond with their kid's partner. And if those people break up, it is a little strange to think they just completely lose the relationship they have with that person.
And I think it's fine to maintain it. I mean, unless the kid has really strong feelings and there's a good reason, you try and respect that. I don't know, but it's all situational and it depends on the context. But you don't invite them to the Christmas dinner. What?
Yeah, this is
it's just so obviously nuts. You're an asshole. Okay. So, sorry, Bob, you're an asshole.
Yeah, come on, Bob. Not much to say about this one. Good luck to the daughters. Am I the asshole for destroying family Christmas?
Everyone's just destroying family Christmas. It's wonderful.
Almost all is just the politics of Christmas dinners, right? I've been with my wife for about 5 years, married 2. We have 1-year-old son. My mom is the type of person who doesn't like change. She doesn't like new people and keeps to herself. That being said, she isn't controlling and doesn't seem to care what her kids do with their lives, but she doesn't like when she feels like things are pushed on her. She's also someone who will just keep doing what she does without thinking. Sounds like we're just making a lot of excuses for this mom already.
Yeah, just get to the point.
Okay. So without thinking, when she continued to buy me lavish gifts, but nothing for my wife or baby, I didn't think it was malicious, but it hurt my wife that even after our marriage, my mom wasn't buying her gifts. I sat down with my mom and explained this, and my mom was totally shocked and couldn't believe my wife expected a gift. I tried to explain that my wife is part of the family now, but my mom was upset and said she had 3 kids and shouldn't have to pretend my wife is her kid. She really seemed surprised, so I do think it was genuine. She kept saying how mortified she would be if her husband expected gifts from her parents, and she wouldn't be with such an entitled child. Finally, I just told my mom to stop. It's okay if she has a difference of opinion, but she is hurting my wife and it needs to stop. My mom thought about it for a couple months, talked to my sisters, and her ultimate decision was that she didn't want to host Christmas anymore. I thought she was bluffing, so I ignored it for months. I realized she was serious and said, fine, we can do it at my house. But she didn't want to come. I mailed her a small gift as a test, and she mailed it back. Finally, I was like, fuck it, and did Christmas with my wife's sisters and their partners. Both of my sisters were miserable the whole time, and one cried, which I thought was very dramatic. My mom was on vacation and had her phone off. The sister who cried finally blew up that my wife and I ruined Christmas and ruined our family, and she left early. Her and my other sister called our mom later and finally got her to answer and begged her to do a normal Christmas again. My mom said she feels like now that we are all getting married and having kids, it shouldn't be her problem anymore, and she will think about it, but is leaning towards no. Now my sisters are angry and feel that I have ruined family Christmas.
I'm confused.
Mom sounds incredibly manipulative.
I got lost somewhere in this paragraph. Can you summarize?
Summary. Son in this family tells mom hey, my wife is part of our family now, during Christmas celebrations, we would kind of expect her to get a gift too. It would be nice if she was included in the gift giving. Mom's opinion is that partners of family don't get gifts at Christmas, I guess.
Okay.
And because she is so offended at the idea of having to give her son's wife a gift, she is now just refusing to host Christmas, which is their family tradition. And now the other siblings of mom blame the son and his wife for ruining Christmas.
No, you blame the mom.
Yeah, this escalated quickly, didn't it, right? Like, I get there is, like, a conversation to have around, like, when partners do or don't get gifts.
I mean, like
Like,
it's a nice thing to do. But if you don't want to be nice, then don't give a gift. But don't be mad if people criticize you for, like, being, not that considerate.
But where is
whatever.
We're not big gift giving people in general. So I think it's hard for us to say. But I think in normal circumstances, once someone is, like, clearly with a partner to the point where they're showing up for your Christmas celebration,
it's been, like,
it is weird
years.
to just completely exclude them from the gift giving process, right?
Yes, but there's also, like, doesn't need to be such an expectation. Like, I would never tell my aunts and uncles they must buy you a gift.
No, and I wouldn't go to your events expecting that either.
Exactly. So if, in my birthday party, I say that like there was a big event, but like in the past when my sister and I would have our birthdays with families and you had just started being around the family, or maybe, sorry, not birthday, Christmas, or else it doesn't make sense. Sorry. I'm like, what am I saying?
I didn't get a gift for your birthday.
I don't think people, maybe they got you a pair of socks in the beginning. Do you know what I mean? Like, Jen and I were like getting presents, meaningful gifts, and you might have been an afterthought. Like, but like, whatever.
But as long as there's like, I wasn't showing up with a bunch of gifts for your family either, right?
Right, yeah, exactly.
So I feel like there just needs to be an understanding that, like,
a balance.
If we're gonna... If I were showing up with a bunch of gifts for your aunt and uncles and they weren't giving me anything, that would be weird. But that's not what was happening. There was just sort of like, we're not doing any sort of gift exchange.
Obviously, here. There's an underlying issue here that the mom doesn't like the wife of her son. Because if you're like refusing to give presents to someone in that way, and then you'd rather not have Christmas because you don't want to deal with them, like clearly you just don't like the relationship that your son has.
Yeah, or you're just used to no one ever telling you you're doing, like, this sounds like the mom from like the scenario.
It sounds like all these moms are the same. They just want to own the rights to their family and they don't want anyone else to participate. And that's exactly what this sounds like.
And he's literally making excuses in that first paragraph, right?
Because he's brainwashed by his mother. All these men have been brainwashed by their mothers.
Just go to that subreddit for like what's it called? There's a subreddit for like people who, it's like a support group for people who had like narcissistic parents.
Like,
I can't remember what it's called.
You don't owe your entire life and everything you do to your mother just because they might have given birth to you. Like, I feel like that's just something people need to erase from their minds. I understand, yes, you want to have compassion and you care for, but if a parent is a terrible person and has given you time and time again multiple reasons to make you feel like down on yourself, down on people who you love in your relationship, or just like overall giving you a bad experience, you don't owe them everything they ask for.
Sure, but that's a pretty extreme. It's usually not that black and white, right?
Absolutely.
Like, usually it's not like, oh, my mom's a terrible person, I need to cut her out of my life. It's more so,
but you don't have to
mom
always
is unreasonable about
shit.
things like this.
Yeah.
So how do you reasonably deal with that without wanting to completely cut family members out of your life?
Well, you don't let the mom guilt you into thinking you caused this shit when it was ultimately her being the immature brat.
Yeah, and I guess you'd want to be on the same page as the other siblings. Like,
yeah.
It is weird that the other sisters are like distraught and bursting into tears over their mom being unreasonable, but blaming the son and his wife.
They're all brainwashed. That's all it is.
That's tough.
Come on, you guys are like 30 years old now, okay? Stop thinking of mommy.
Yeah, well, Merry Christmas, right? All right, next one. Am I the asshole for being an ungrateful, spoiled brat for the Christmas gift my husband got me? I'm a 35-year-old woman, and I want to begin by saying that in every holiday, me and my husband, 33 years old, both work decent jobs. We set separate budgets for gifts, and he uses his own money to buy gifts, and I do the same. We've been married for almost a year, together for 3. This is our first Christmas as a married couple. He makes a list of every person he wanted to buy a gift for. I stumbled upon this list by accident and out of curiosity decided to take a look. I found that his friends, coworkers were on the top of the list with gifts that cost over $5,000 total. For example, he got a $600 watch for his coworker, a $250 bracelet for his sister-in-law, $900 workout gear for his friend. There was more, but that's all I could remember. What made me upset was that when I got to my name, I saw that he bought me a $20-something kitchen spoon set. I was too shocked to ignore this and had a confrontation with him about it. He argued that it's his money, he's the one paying, so he's in control of. I should not control that. And B, his coworkers' friends are important to him and he's known them for ages. And C, he said a gift should be appreciated no matter what it costs. I argued that he was disrespecting me and dismissing my feeling with the gift he chose to get me, not to mention that I spent a lot of money for his gifts to buy him his favorite shoe gaming brands. But he got upset and said I was acting like an ungrateful, spoiled brat and urged me to get rid of this attitude and accept what I'm getting. The argument got worse and we stopped talking to each other. He still says I'm being ridiculous with my overreaction. Did I overreact?
Newlyweds. What can I say?
Wait, how is this only coming up now? They've been together 3 years. Like, I know it's their first one as a married couple, but who cares? Like,
that doesn't mean anything.
They've experienced gift giving with each other before. Is she buying him lavish gifts and he's getting her like...
It's all just so weird. Like, the obvious answer is, well, you guys have to mutually come to a decision on how much to spend on each other. That's it. And everything else is irrelevant.
Does it really matter that he's buying lavish gifts for colleagues? Like, if they had an understanding that they weren't going to get each other expensive gifts.
Like we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we were also just like blowing a bunch of money getting friends gifts. Does that even really matter here?
No.
Not really.
But that's because we came to an agreement. So if they came to an agreement that they would spend $1,000 on each other, then it doesn't really matter. But it sounds like they didn't come to an agreement on what they would spend on each other. And then the wife is just bitter that she sees his list and there's like thousands of dollars going to friends and $20 to her. Although this is like a weird thing to document, don't you think? Like, I'm kind of questioning now. I'm like, wait a second, what did she see? Did she also, like maybe just go through all of his receipts to find this information, which is a whole other level of...
Also, I'm pure speculation, but if I'm trying to surprise my wife with a gift, I'm maybe not writing it down on a piece of paper she could find. Yeah. So maybe she's going to wake up on Christmas and have some like amazing gift he just didn't want her to know about.
But now he's not going to give it to her because she was,
freaked out about mad about the spoons. This is really...
All of this is weird, and I do not believe that there was just a convenient list with every single person and what amount he spent on them. I mean, waiting for her to see.
People budget like that, I guess. I find that a little strange, but...
It is weird. There's clearly other issues of, lack of communication, trust, maybe a bit of jealousy. Maybe she's jealous that he has a lot of other friends he wants to spend money on. But
so you wouldn't be jealous if I got you $20 spoons, but I sent Sophia $1,000 necklace or something.
Sent Sophia on the trip of her dreams.
Yeah. It is a little weird.
I mean, if I wanted a trip of my dreams, and I'd express that to you. But
what's a trip of your dreams?
I don't know, none here. But if I said I want a trip of my dreams, and you gave me spoons, and you got Sophia a trip of her dreams, then yes, I think I would have the right to be upset.
Yeah.
But it sounds like they didn't communicate their expectations for Christmas gift giving.
Communication is key, right? Oh my
God, Christine? These people, man. Like, I just can't deal with these people. It's so frustrating, like, dealing with this. Also, like, if they have therapists or counselors or couples counselors, I really wonder what goes through the minds of those people. Like, imagine being a trained professional and hearing this situation. You just want to, like, slap someone in the face.
I don't know how you could do that for them.
You're just like, oh my God, guys, just talk to each other.
I mean, I suppose we're just reading these for fun, so maybe we're the weird ones.
We're not trained professionals, though.
All right, just a couple more. Am I the asshole for trying to alter the dress code at my in-laws' Christmas and saying I would show up in sweatpants?
Me too.
What, did you write this post?
That's me.
I have a bit of a complicated relationship with my husband's family. The mother-in-law claims she likes me, but I don't think she does.
It's all the same mother-in-law.
Yeah, this is all just one big family. She also claims she loves and adores her grandchildren, but will do pretty much anything to avoid spending time with them. As a result, the relationship is pretty strained, and we only see her for holidays and the occasional family dinner. I don't really like doing holidays at mother-in-law's house because it is so formal. Everyone dresses super nice. Hair and makeup is perfect. Mother-in-law pretty much lives for this stuff. Despite the annoying dress code, my husband gets to see his siblings, my kids get to see their cousins, and mother-in-law mostly ignores us anyway.
Wonderful.
This year is our year to spend Christmas with the in-laws, and I've been getting annoyed about the clothing aspect for months. It just seems so silly to me and almost like a weird competition between the women in the family. I broached the topic with mother-in-law, and she said holidays are supposed to be special, and my generation is so lazy. That annoyed me, so I talked to some of the younger women who also have small kids. One sister-in-law said I was ruining Christmas.
Oh my God.
One kind of agreed, but said it wasn't worth the fight with her mom. Mother-in-law called me recently and demanded to know why I was talking behind her back to the guests. I explained I was just trying to see how people felt about the dress code, because to me the formal attire is just another layer of stress, and it is spiraling into some sad beauty pageant. I've heard mother-in-law make comments about she has to look perfect because so-and-so is coming. Mother-in-law said it was tacky of me to ask around, and I need to stop trying to change their family, and I'm so rude and entitled for thinking I get to make changes when I just married in. This pissed me off, and I said she can wear whatever, but I will be coming in sweats and my kids will be in play clothes. Mother-in-law actually laughed and said that would be my problem, not hers. My husband says if I do it, it will embarrass him. No, I'm seriously thinking of doing it, and mother-in-law is still pissy that I talked to her guests behind her back.
Yo, Ben, at midnight, we riot in sweatpants.
That's your protest. Show up in roots.
I mean, like, this is hilarious.
But here's the first one where I will defend mother-in-law. It's not appropriate to start calling around the guests of someone else's party.
Because it's the mother-in-law's event.
Undermine the dress code for the event. Like, I agree it's kind of silly to get all dressed up for a family get-together, but...
Yeah, I disagree with the poster for calling around trying to get it changed, or however that was interpreted. But I can agree with the perspective of the poster being like, this is all bullshit. Why do we got to dress up with gold and silver and whatever, and I just want to be comfortable. Yeah. But it sounds like she asked for permission to wear sweatpants, and the mother-in-law said, go ahead, that'll be your problem, not mine. So just do that.
That will be your problem isn't necessarily a nice invitation to show up in sweatpants, but
there's probably some kind of compromise to the situation. Like,
yeah? What is it?
I mean,
show up in sweatpants.
Also, dress codes are so like 1997. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't really know anyone who has truly enforced a meaningful dress code. It's certainly not in my family.
Yeah,
like
well, there are like at a wedding. If you showed up to sweatpants at a wedding, people would look at you like you're crazy,
but
right?
That is not an annual event. That is a once in a, well, not always once.
At our age, it feels like people are getting married all the time.
Sure. But like, this is Christmas that I guess they do this every year and they want to dress up. And that's their prerogative if they want to host a fancy dinner. I suppose if you didn't want to participate in it, maybe you just don't go. Or maybe you like wear something that's kind of... you won't be looked at as weird. That's like me. Okay, I feel this way. I don't want to dress up in frou-frou dresses and play dress up and pretend I'm like these people, because I'm not. But I also understand it would be unreasonable to show up in sweatpants. So I might compromise and wear like dress pants and like a nice shirt. Like, and I will hate it, but I will still do it. But I don't need to do it to the level that they're doing it. And I certainly won't tell the person who's running the show to change their dress code.
Yeah. There are nice-ish clothes that are comfortable, right? These exist? Or is that less the case for women,
This is
actually?
nice. I'm wearing like a velvety kind of hoodie right now. It's nice.
Is that Lululemon?
Yeah.
Looks nice.
It's like really comfortable. That's why I like it. But it also looks kind of fancy. So I would totally wear this to a Christmas dinner. I did wear this to Christmas dinner.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we don't have a dress code.
Leggings, too? This is more of an issue for women than men, though, I would say, right? I think dress clothes for women are less comfortable than dress clothes for men, probably.
But also if you're like a 30-year-old...
Especially the makeup aspect, too.
Yeah. If you're a 30-year-old or younger, you are probably very frustrated when you hear like old people having formal events and you have to abide by their definition of what is formal. Because it's often like centered in old school ideals about like what women should wear to look presentable, and you want to roll your eyes and die. So I can empathize with that.
And posters coming from a perspective like we got a bunch of young kids running around.
Yeah, like,
it's Christmas. Just want to be comfortable. This year fucking sucks. Like
this isn't 1992 where you dress up all your kids in matching dresses.
Well, it's not the 60s where you could just let your kids run around and smoke and play with knives. Like there's different standards for family get-togethers.
That went far, but.
Yeah, but I will just say posters shouldn't be calling around trying to subvert the dress code for someone else's event.
Just stay home, wear sweatpants, laugh at the people wearing dresses.
Your answer is just like, just cut off all communication with your family.
Just don't deal with it if you don't want to.
Okay. All right, and last one. Am I the asshole for buying myself a PS5 for Christmas and putting it under the tree with my kids' gifts?
Sounds like someone I know.
Who?
Minus the kids.
And minus putting it under it. Okay. Anyway, Christmas in my house is pretty simple. My wife and I buy our kids 2 gifts each, and we accept gifts from aunts and uncles for our kids and place them under the tree as the month goes on. However, we barely get Christmas gifts, and when we do, it's usually from each other or maybe our parents and grandparents. My wife hasn't gotten me a Christmas gift in the last 2 years, even though I made it a mission for me to get a Christmas gift every year we've been married. A mission. Okay, he wants his wife to get him gifts, but she hasn't been.
Okay.
Have he been getting his? Okay, so last month I decided to ask my wife if she could get me a Christmas gift this year, just so I could feel a little bit happier on Christmas. She said that she would think about it if she has enough gift money after buying gifts for our kids and her parents. Well, after Thanksgiving, I knew she wasn't getting me a gift this year again, and after I bought our kids my gifts, I realized that I had some spare cash. I decided to look online and ordered myself a PS5. I wanted to gift it to myself, but in reality, I was going to make it a house gift. However, after I got the system and wrapped it on the tree, my wife wondered what it was because I hadn't told her yet and wanted it to be a surprise. She instead got really pissed off at me because she said I was wasting money just to feel important for no reason. I told her that I was going to make the PS5 a house gift and just wanted it to feel like a gift for me since I barely get them anymore. She told me that I needed to stop acting like a child. I told her that she should have just gotten me a gift this year then. We bickered for a few more minutes, but the past few days she's told me how disappointed she was in this. And I'm starting to regret this dumb idea. Am I the asshole?
Oh my God, people.
Does he get her Christmas gifts? I feel like that's a really important piece of information that's missing here. Also, like, there's a subtext here that, like, maybe money is tight. Mm-hmm. So spending $700 on a video game for yourself, if you're in a tough financial situation in your family, is...
I mean, it sounds like they are a household unit, so that's when they should agree on how much the household should budget on Christmas presents for the kids and each other. Wow.
Yeah. It is sad to think, though, that this guy's sitting around being like, I just want a Christmas gift.
I know, he even said that. He admitted it. And even, so I could feel a little happier this Christmas.
Yeah, like, that's sad. I feel bad for this guy, even if maybe he shouldn't have done this.
A house gift, though, like the concept of a house gift is legit.
Yeah.
Like, I remember my dad would get a TV, and it would say, like, from Santa or some bullshit. But
it was really from dad to dad.
We got to watch the TV, but I don't care about a certain resolution or pixel or know anything of that. But he wanted a very specific, like, LCD screen TV, and it was probably a lot of money at the time. But,
taking any sort of financial insecurity out of the question, that's totally fine. And I think a lot of people could relate to that. Yeah, having parents basically give themselves some gifts.
The other subtext is, but it's a PS5, which is very hard to get, right, Ben? So it's more special.
It is special.
Like you bought yourself a PS5
a couple weeks ago. I found one, and it's just been sitting under the peely tree for a week. Actually, no, it's funny. I was looking for...
Are you the asshole?
Why?
I don't know.
Do you have something to share? Well, I did buy myself a Christmas gift and not one for you.
Yeah.
But you didn't buy me a gift. Did you buy stuff for yourself?
We set expectations to not get gifts for each other, but we never said we couldn't buy gifts for ourselves.
That's right.
Hey! I bought myself this hoodie. Merry Christmas to me.
Yeah, just buy yourself what you want.
Yeah.
I mean, there is something nice about feeling like your partner thinks of you and gets you stuff sometimes.
Yeah, but this goes beyond Christmas gifts. Like, if there's an issue at Christmas and you're sad your partner's not getting you a Christmas gift, it's not about Christmas, man.
Yes.
It's probably happening the rest of the year.
You're not getting something else from your partner on an emotional level.
Bring them tea,
That's all you need.
It doesn't cost much money
That's
to
true.
make tea.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I feel like the 5,000 cups of tea I've gotten you is worth a PS5,
You deserve it, honey.
Thank you. Thank you for validating. But yeah, I haven't even touched it yet. It's just sitting there.
Why?
Well, I've been waiting for it for so long. And I'm like, I walk into a Best Buy and they had them and I was shocked. I'm like, okay. So I just walked out with one. And now I'm just thinking like, when am I going to have time to play this?
You gotta play the games for PS5? They're different.
There aren't even that many out yet.
So why do people want it so badly? So stupid.
I've just been thinking about how much I want it so long. I'm like, wait, why did I want
you have
this?
it?
I've been looking so long, I forgot why I wanted
Jesus
it.
Christ. Okay, well, I guess we have to play some games on stream.
I guess so.
Or you stream.
Maybe.
Or me stream with you. I don't know.
April Fools can't come soon enough.
Oh my God. Well, I hope everyone had a lovely Christmas holiday with family or ignoring your family if they suck, one or the other.
Yeah, I hope you survived your mother-in-laws.
Yeah, oh my God. Why are they always the worst? All these posts are about terrible mother-in-laws.
Yeah, I wasn't seeking that out when I found these examples. That was just
the dominant theme.
They were rising to the top.
I mean, yeah, it's a challenge in families. Especially at the current age, the generation who's like writing on Reddit is because... I imagine that most people writing these posts on Reddit are between 15 and 35, right? That's probably the average age range of Reddit posters.
It skews more male, I would say. Although a lot of those posts were from wives of people complaining about mother-in-laws, I would say.
Right, but it's that generation or that couple of generations, and the mother-in-laws are always 60 to 70 years old. And those are people, not all, but many who are stuck in a very traditional way of thinking. Not all 60-year-olds, but I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
So you see that kind of
speaks
trend.
to people,
and it is phasing out.
Well, this is why these posts are going to the top, right? Because other people are clicking.
They relate to it because their mother-in-laws are also batshit crazy.
That's nice. All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in.
Happy 2022. We're very excited that we're still here. We haven't been, this podcast has not been canceled.
This is the 90th episode, I think.
Is it the 90th?
I think.
Oh my
we're
God.
going to hit 100 soon.
Wow. We're almost as old as my grandma.
We should have her on for the 100th episode. Yeah. What happens at 100? We turn into a pumpkin? We retire? Is that it?
From the podcast?
when we started this podcast, we thought it would be mostly an excuse to interview people, and we would travel around,
interview Reddit,
and hang out with YouTube friends.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic hit, and now we've just been talking to each other for 90 episodes.
We've been reading the internet for a lot of it, doing quizzes, doing tests, reading Reddit, reading comments and questions from you guys in the audience. Yeah. So we had to make do, but I've had a great time.
I've enjoyed it. It's just, this is not at all what we thought this would be.
But, no one's life is what they thought it would be in the last couple of years.
That is the theme, I guess.
We're just grateful for everyone in the SimplyPodLogical audience, listeners,
the
subscribers.
Super duper simps.
Super simps, oh my God. But, we will see you guys next Taco Tuesday. Hope you have a fantastic Taco Tuesday, the first Taco Tuesday of 22.
Yes.
2022. 22.
Why? What are you on about with this apostrophe 22 business?
It just sounds cooler, like how we used to say 97, 22.
You in your journal in school, you would just write 97.
Yeah.
But 22 could refer to 1922 or 2022.
No one remembers that.
No one remembers that.
I mean, if you're talking now, obviously you're not.
Your grandmother remembers that.
Yes, she probably has a journal where she wrote apostrophe 22.
Not quite. She's not 100.
No, she's not that old. Ben! All right, everyone.
Thanks so much for watching.
We'll see y'all later. Bye!